Welcome to the Shred Show, episode 1.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Taylor, and today we're talking about how social media has changed skateboarding.
Instagram is crazy.
Let's get stuck in.
Everything is just in the power of your hand. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything to get your hands on skateboarding is on your phone for free.
It's all driven, right? Like, it's all driven by the changes. The market now isn't selling DVDs. The market now is selling ad spots. So in the past, you were selling DVDs. That's your primary source of income, right? And the DVDs will drive sales to whatever product you're promoting within the DVD. If it's a girl skateboarding video, right? Like, it's going to be decks and stuff. Really, it's just to hype up the skaters. But like nowadays, you're driving sales through AdSense. You're driving sales through the traditional ways, but like it's evolved. It's not as simple as it was, which I guess kind of comes with the progression of skateboarding.
Right. I mean, like, also, like, back in the day, like, if you're buying, like, when on the DVDs, like, if the tricks that were being done today were on those, like, oh, dude, bruh. Like, we could go down to, like, just like I feel like a banger on a video back in the day would be like a back 50-50 or back 5-0 down like a 11-stair rail. But I go to any skate park out here and people are just doing that for warm-ups anymore.
Those, what would be like an end of video banger is now like early video am spot. Like,
yeah, insane.
It takes the idea of being a filmer, and it makes it more legitimate. Before, they were sort of in the background. The editor, the filmer, nobody would talk about them. The video part would get released, and then everybody sees the skater. They hype up the skater. But nowadays, like, if you have a sick edit, people are like that was a sick edit. So like, the skater doesn't just get props; the filmer gets props,
and the editor too. If there's if a different entity doing that as well. So for sure.
I mean, that's highlighted by like the fact that X Games gives medals now to filmers.
I didn't even know that until you brought that up to me the other day. I was like, what? That's crazy.
I know, it's so sick. And I feel like it's like coming from like being a filmer, like coming from that side, I think like it's a lot of work. Like, sure, the skater's putting his life on the line, like, for a lot of these tricks. Like, you see some insane stuff and you're like, okay, Jaws did that. Insane. But the filmer is putting in hours.
I think like the craziest like filming like would be for like the X Games when they're in the bowl with you. Like, you were also a skateboarder.
Yeah.
You were in the bowl trying to get a shot. You can't mess up. And you're doing exactly what they're doing. You're hitting the airs too, but you're just not there doing like the crazy trick, but you're also filming it. It's insane.
And that's shifted because like before, people didn't have an idea of what a good edit looked like. Like, unless you were really interested in cinematography, you're not paying attention to clever edits and clever angles and clever transitions. Nowadays, you see something wild where like you get the camera panning around the skater, and then like it's a whip pan clip, and like you'll see them come in from one side and like close out the other side, and another clip comes in. And you're like, oh,
it's like how everything flows together. Like, you're leaving this side of the screen, and the next shot you're coming in that side of the screen. Like, no, it's definitely sick. And then like going in with that drone stuff, like I know you talk about that Sean Malto nose grind opening up pretty sweet.
So
like,
sick.
Yeah, that was such a sick angle. And like the concept of opening that video, just like everybody is just hitting trick after trick after trick. Yeah. And it's a one-shot thing. Like,
100%.
How many times do you think they had to run that back? How many times do you think he hit that trick? Because that was in the beginning.
Do you think Malto wants to overcook that again?
Doubt it.
That's a terrifying trick.
Doubt it.
Yeah. Also, like the progression from social media pushing these edits, it makes you get more and more creative. So the skaters, like, yes, skateboarding is progressing at a rate that we haven't seen before. It is exponential progress, but the edits are growing with it too. So we see a clever edit and somebody does, I don't know, something insane, right? We'll take the more technical stuff. Somebody just does like despite whether or not you think this looks good, somebody does a quad flip.
Yeah, it's very beautiful trick, by the way.
Sure.
I mean, I did that triple backside flip on the hip like couple weeks ago, or not weeks, months or whatever, and like it got love on Instagram. But
it's if you just have a stable shot, right, and somebody's doing something like a quad flip, you're thinking, all right, cool, they did a quad flip, and then you have another guy do it, and 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 all of a sudden there's like 25 people that do the same trick. The only thing that's going to make you stand out is having that clever edit,
right?
Time to music.
Well, so it's kind of funny with you saying that I did the backside triple flip, but I took a Juicy J song. And it's like, I'm trippy, man. I put that as because triple for trippy. I'm trippy, man. So it's hilarious.
It brings more views.
It got more views on my Instagram because the clever edit, just like you were saying.
That makes you wonder: is like, does the clever edit supersede the talent within the trick?
So I do believe like it's not what you do, but it's how you do it.
Style, baby.
Style is huge.
Yeah.
So like I could go out and film the hardest trick possible and it's going to look bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a real chance like I'm landing it. But then if you take like a super sick nollie back one down a 15 stair and you're hella chilling. Yeah. And you land it, or like not even a 15 stair, do like a 6 stair, like down a curb, and it just looks really good.
Or just like a flat, buttery kickflip caught super high.
Oh my God. Kickflip, I don't understand how to do kickflips like proper, but a proper kickflip, like you can't beat it.
They look
you can't
mean.
beat it.
Proper tray flip too. Like, I mean, you got that one in the bag, but like they look great, dude. Yeah. You get the perfect front foot catch at the very peak of the trick.
Kind of just bring that back foot, like ride on it, land. There's no better feeling than when you like pop it and catch it right, you know.
We got such bangers nowadays in clips, in things like Instagram, on TikTok. What is differentiating these video parts from the clips?
So I feel like nowadays, like I got a bunch of homies, you know, they ride for 303. They film like professional videos. Yeah. They're putting out stuff on Instagram, like they're going to street spots and all that stuff and everything. Yeah. But, you know, there's going to be a handrail. They're going to post the lip slide, the 50-50, maybe the Smith or whatever. But they're not going to post that video that's going into that video part that's getting released by the shop.
They're gatekeeping the banger.
Well, I wouldn't say it's gatekeeping, but it's more or less like, strategic. Hey, I was here. Yeah. You know I did something else. I'm not going to give it all right now.
It's teaser.
So it's like we skated this spot and I got something here. So be on the lookout. You know, they have the video releases every so often and you have like a whole party at the annex. I
mean, I think a lot of times we see the park tricks where they're getting their practice in, showing up in clips, and then they'll save their street clips. You'll still see a street clip. Like, we'll talk about it later, but Fakey Flick Wallenberg, like, they gave some teasers of what happened there.
Yeah, a little bit before the video dropped. This is such a banger. Yeah. Such a banger. And I know bangers.
And they didn't think anything of it. They just posted a little teaser, but they didn't show too much. It was really tasteful. But like the difference between a lot of these video parts and just standard Instagram clips, I feel like is skate park versus street clip. It's the risk of getting kicked out. It's the risk of like.
Well, I also feel like when you're making a video part, you don't have park footage.
That's true.
So
you can't put park footage.
It's like you could put park footage out. Like everything you land, you could land the hardest trick ever. Yeah. Like not even the hardest, but the best looking. Anything like anything you do, you're super proud of in the park.
Unless you shred transition, that's a little different.
That's completely different. That's a whole different aspect of skating. Yeah. But like if you do something like super good in the park, like post it right now. Yeah. Because you're not going to get any cred for a street part footy. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Skate news.
So we did have Baker Has a Death Wish, part 2 drop in January. It was a pretty good video. I don't really have much talking points on it, but like I definitely enjoyed it, especially like the nostalgic feel of seeing Baker Has a Death Wish when I was younger. So definitely go check that one out.
It's a good comeback. It sucks when they redo a video, and same thing happens with movies, right? They do a second part and it sucks. But like the progression of skateboarding.
I wouldn't say it was a fun video to watch. Like I definitely enjoyed it, but you know, like I don't have like any like takeaways from it where I'm like, yeah, that was great.
Speaking of videos with takeaways, though, that primitive video that dropped.
Yeah, come on. Felipe Mota, he needs to get paid.
Felipe Mota needs to get paid.
By Primitive.
By Primitive. That video, just go watch it.
Yeah, go check it out. We'll have a little teasers, a little end of the show just for what you're seeing. But you probably already seen these clips, but
yeah. We got a couple of bangers we're talking about there. We're going to talk about Felipe Mota's, and we're going to talk about Wallenberg. Wallenberg.
Yeah, big stairs.
New Balance.
And some kind of new drop.
Something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Eggzilla.
Yeah, that Eggzilla board is something else. I feel like it broke Instagram in some type of way. Like one of my homies had a board at the park, and I took it and I did like a nollie late flip on it. Apparently, the first one ever done. I did that. Go check it out at @tskates_. @tskates_. Yeah, it's in there. You can go check it out. Eggzilla.
That board is a behemoth. I feel like, I mean, people have. You'll see it on the internet. People like to take things, throw some trucks on it, and do tricks, or attempt tricks. Proper built skateboard at that size with that weight. I don't think it would fit in a mold.
It felt wrong.
Custom built mold to make that thing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's.
When I did that trick too, I swear I threw my hip out. It's been 3 weeks and the stuff still hurts.
I haven't gotten to skate it, but like the board is fun enough to talk about. It's fun enough to show up in skate news, right? So
right.
If you're on Instagram, if you're scrolling through TikTok, you'll come across it in some manner. If you haven't, go look at it and think about if. The real question is, can you do a kickflip on it first try, or heel flip if that's your trick, or tray flip if you're super techie? It'd be a fun bet.
It took me a while. I don't even think I kickflipped it. I was just like, to do the nollie late flip, I had to turn the board around and pop it off the tail.
that's ridiculous.
Because it had no nose. I couldn't get in the air. It was wild.
Barracks, new location. Is it coming?
Yeah, just let me know if you know something. Leave it in the comments. I have no idea.
We want to know. We want to know what they're doing. Are they gonna build a bowl in Barracks? Or I doubt it. But that'd be
crazy. Yeah, I mean, they had the bowl corners and stuff.
That's true.
But how about that SLS that just ended? Some crazy stuff going down in France.
Speaking of France, those names. Let's SLS winner shout out. I'm gonna butcher his name. Okay, we're gonna call Aurelien Girard.
It's probably right. It sounds right. Close. I feel like I've as much as I try to pronounce his name, like I've heard it a billion times.
Yeah. Phonetically, I think I got pretty close. So.
I think you're there, but like him, me, and then Jamie Griffin are the only people I've ever seen do a hard flip, late flip.
Yep.
Send us your hard flip, late flips. I think those are sick. I haven't done one in a minute though, so I got to bring that one back.
Send us all the late flips.
Just send us your clips, and probably have a chance to get featured on the show at one point.
Yeah, that would be a fun segment. Just a bunch of late flips and
not even just like fan clips. Send us your clips. Like we'll pick them through and we'll shout you guys out for sure.
Yeah, if it rolls on the ground, it's better be real creative or it doesn't.
Better be really hard. And then we got the Phoenix Am. It's popping off in a few days.
Yeah, I just want to shout that out.
Yeah, I think it's a super sick competition. It's not like huge. Mm-hmm. You know, like Tampa Am, Tampa Pro, but like. It's definitely a lot of credible sponsors out there if you're trying to, make a name for yourself as a competitive skater. That's definitely something I feel like you should be at.
Got to build the community, support the community, follow the community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the goal of this channel, right? It's to build things up.
Building the community out here.
Phoenix Am. And in the future, we're going to let you know about, we're local to Denver, but we're not
too far.
Yeah.
Not too far from Phoenix.
Yeah.
We could drive there. Well, we could drive everywhere pretty much. But anyway, not bad.
Clip of the week.
I also can't pronounce this name, so I'm going to throw that to you.
Dylan Jabe. Fakey flip down Wallenberg. Okay. It was teased in November by the 9 Club. But yeah, he dropped the clip. We saw it. We saw it in the primitive video.
It was the banger.
we're just gonna dive into this bad boy.
Yeah.
21 minutes and 50 seconds into that primitive daydream video, and it's just.
I totally don't have it open on here.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, just turn your computer because it's going to take me 16 years to get this up. That was so gassed, bro.
The thing is, he makes it look like, well, one, we know he's having fun, but all the fear is not, there's no fear in this man's eyes. He doesn't feel reserved. He doesn't feel, like, from me, my perspective,
Yeah.
he doesn't seem apprehensive. He just sends it.
Well, I mean, like, once you believe in your skills and you trust yourself and you get past those commitment things, like a lot of, like, I skate stairs. I don't skate, like, large stairs.
Yeah.
But you see how perfect my tray flips are? They've been like that for a minute, but I never had that, like, commitment piece where I was like, all right, like, I know and trust that's coming around. He knows his fakie flip. You're not just hitting Wallenberg, and I'm like, I'm going to try one of my tricks like I just learned down drops. Like,
Yeah.
that's his trick. It has to be his trick. You know what I mean?
Just the idea of going full speed, backwards,
It's
fakey
wrong.
flip. It's
Fakie is fake.
man.
You heard it here first. I do not skate fakie.
In his Instagram, like they elaborate a little bit on what he did to get that trick.
Well, I saw the Thrasher post where
Yeah.
it took him 3 different occasions. They got kicked out of Wallenberg.
Who gets kicked out of Wallenberg?
I've never heard that one. And they were like, we're getting kicked out. Like the cops came, shut them down. They built the ramp
Yes,
too.
they built a roll-in.
Well, they built the roll-in, got kicked out. They had to
Disassemble it.
take the roll-in away, and
Put
then
it in
come
a
back.
U-Haul.
Put it in a U-Haul.
Take it back to storage.
Yeah.
Bring it back. The whole thing.
That's just a straight up mission. Crazy.
It's just a high level like of effort and energy went into this trick. And then like imagine being the skater. You have to perform. Like
Yeah, I mean, like,
all this.
it's crazy. And he's like young too. Like,
Yeah. Good on him.
insane. And that's an AM video, guys. This is an AM video.
Yes.
He needs to get paid by Primitive too. I'm calling out Primitive today. Primitive, why aren't you paying your guys?
Yes. That was I saw that, my jaw dropped. It just instantly like
Yeah, I was talking to him about it. He's like, wait, someone fakey flipped Wallenberg? I'm like, yeah.
I can't wrap my head around the feeling of that. Because you know, like
Right.
sometimes with tricks you can like feel it out. Like
So I mean, like, I could do a fakey flip on flat, but I won't even fakey ollie like a curb. Like, it does not feel good.
no.
I'm a nollie first guy, like always.
You're so exposed on that trick. Like
Yeah.
you have to if you don't pop it perfectly or like you're
And you have to, in doing fakey tricks, you have to pop early. So he popped early down Wallenberg.
super early. They slow it down. Like you see it in the Thrasher clip and like he's like scary early where it's like, how did you
Right. Like, I'm over here skating at the skate park, clipping down a like long 3-star, doing a nollie blindside 180. Like, don't get it.
Same video. Felipe Mota. We said we're going to talk about it. We're talking about it.
Flick front blunt Hollywood 16.
Makes it look easy. He's an AM.
But I mean, like, this also took, I think, 3 trips. That also took 3 trips.
That is like another high exposure trick, but in a different level. I mean, it's front blunt. You missed that blunt and like you're bent over that.
He sacked it. His first trip out there, he sacked the Hollywood 16 trying this.
Man, and then he had to overcome that just to go back and do it
Yeah,
again.
so like, I think he went, he tried it, he got close, he sacked. So crispy. But then the second trip he went back, I don't think it was in the Thrasher video as well, like he didn't try it again the second trip, and then the third one he finally just started, and he's warming up like throwing just front blunts down it.
That's a warm up. That's a warm up for him.
I can't front blunt.
That's a warm up for an AM.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Okay, like again, like let's run it back to what we were talking about, like in the DVD era. Like,
Yeah.
if you front blunted Hollywood 16, that is the banger on a professional video.
He would be the biggest skater in the world from
where
that
is
trick.
skateboarding going, bro?
I love to see it.
I love to see it too, but like I remember like growing up and like even like Chris Cole tray flipping Wallenberg.
Yes.
Like that's something I can probably, like, I'm not saying I can do it, but like I can see how it could happen.
You can conceptualize it. You can feel it.
Yeah, like I've tray flipped some decently large stair sets in my day, so
Scale it up.
never seen Wallenberg in person, so I don't want to say I could do it, but yeah, insane, bro. I love that clip.
Through the Lens. This is the part where I pull up a clip and we talk about the edit. This is to help, since the goal of this series, right, is to unite the filmer and the skater and
Yes, sir.
come together and build something sick. We're going to talk about how we made the clip.
Yeah, it's the nollie, nose slide, nollie, flick out to regs.
Oh, dude.
Tony is such a perfectionist. I love his skating.
Tony,
Love it.
he doesn't, again, I've said this before, I'll keep saying it. The man doesn't get the recognition he deserves. He likes to fly under the radar, but like, he is so
I feel like
good.
he is getting recognition, but like the right way. Like he's not asking for it.
No.
And it's like, all right, like I'm letting my skating talk for myself, and it's like such a great thing to see.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so good. Everything is like, if it's not perfect, it's not worthy for him.
He's gonna keep going and going. And the amount of times that like he'll try a trick, he'll land it. He'll land an extremely difficult trick.
Yeah.
Over and over
Switch
and over
5-0 to crook, whatever, like on a ledge, crazy flick ins, flick outs.
He'll land it in a way that most people, 99% of the population,
0.99%. But if it's not Tony, I actually, his number in my phone is called 2Try Tony.
he's gonna do it again.
Yeah, it's like
he's
you can
gonna do
land
it better
it
the second time.
Like, I know I watch him skate. He has somebody phone. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, you can't do that more perfect. He's like, yo, but I'm like locked in right now.
Yeah.
I could do it again. I could do it better. And then he does it.
He does
better. Like somehow does it better. And
This is my second time filming with Tony, and like the first time I saw him, I was like kind of, I wouldn't say intimidated, just like film for him, but like I know how much of a perfectionist he is, and with that, it's like, okay, if you don't crop it just perfectly, if you don't get them perfectly in frame, like, or if you get something in frame, like, I don't know, you're mid trick and you're doing a weird face or something, like Tony's one of those skaters where like he wants it perfect.
Yeah, and respect to that.
Yeah, and shoot, that's the reason we're talking about that on the front end of like the Through the Lens segment where we talk about how the edit happened, is because this is a slow motion edit, which means you're hiding nothing. You have to go through, you have to get the trick perfect.
I think it's so crazy too, like with that edit, like before we even put it up, like something I've never seen before is like he's doing the nose slide and his wheels are not touching the ledge in any sort of way.
No.
And I'm like, you know how much control you have to just be like on the board and then dip it down and flick it and come out to right, like not even going to fakie, not even going the natural movement way.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a nose slide, would you want to turn back out this way? Or are you trying to go with your momentum?
It's in BMX, they call it a hard 180.
Yeah.
He goes the hard direction.
Yeah, it's to regular. Like it's not supposed to go to regular. That trick, like and like the way he made it look good too.
The man doesn't slide his heel.
No, he's sitting on that board.
100%.
He's sitting on that board, flicks it out. Beautiful.
Full slow motion captured. Okay. Now that we've hyped up Tony enough,
he's going to love this.
We're going to talk about the edit. So we're going to open. Oftentimes, the opener is how you're going to capture people's attention. You have to do that. In today's game, right, you have like 1 or 2 seconds to hook someone.
Yeah.
And with a lot of the stuff that we do, we're not playing that game. Like we're a diehard skateboarder channel. Like we're
gonna post quality skateboarding. I'm not trying to hook you in on social media. We're not posting iPhone edits. We're trying to do the most high quality stuff and staying true to ourselves.
It's all filmed on a cinema lens, or cinema camera. Like this.
So we're trying to change the game in some sort of way.
Yeah,
and it's all quality stuff. So eventually you're gonna like it.
This is the same camera. Not that it matters, honestly. Film your stuff on an iPhone if that's what you have.
100%. But what we're trying to do out here, we're trying to
do it different.
Yeah. Be a filmer, Instagram.
Yeah. So we open this thing up, and we're not trying to hook you immediately. It's a slow. We're gonna do a aspect ratio shift right in the beginning, just to set the tone that like, hey, this is cinematic. We want you to know that like normally cinematic, your eyes are used to seeing a certain aspect ratio. It's 16:9. There's an anamorphic aspect ratio that you used to see where those black bars show up on your screen. We're starting with that to lead you off to tell you that, hey, this is This is something.
We're changing it up.
Something different.
So it's kind of going to be like if, you know, you listen to like your favorite album and that song that you always skip and you finally listen to it and it's so good. It's a banger. And now it's your favorite song. That's who we are. That's what we're trying to be.
And then we have to go into the angle. This is always a relationship between the filmer and the skater, because a lot of times the skater knows what angle is going to look good. They've seen enough videos. They've
done this trick a million times.
Yeah. So like we filmed it a couple times, and shout out to Tony again for being able to do it so many times.
Yeah, and this trick is so hard. You see how long he's sliding into? It's not like he's like getting into it and trying to get out. He's like, okay, no slide, nollie, no slide,
lock in,
slide, nollie, flip to regular.
Yeah. Roll away with no tic tacs, nothing. The man just goes with it. But with that, like, we filmed it with multiple different angles. He nailed it every time. And the angle that we ended up with is basically, I mean, I'm a lot of people use film boards. I prefer to just use inline skates.
I mean,
it works for me.
Get them angles how you got to get them angles.
Yeah, and I'm right down. I'm maybe, at first he's like 6 feet away from me. I'm with a 20 millimeter lens, and then he gets maybe a foot away from me with that wide angle lens, and like I'm just trying not to screw up the framing.
Yeah, I know. You guys ran into each other at the end of the clip too.
We did. You can't really see it.
I mean,
like,
you could tell. You could tell after it's said and done. Like, you come into frame, like you see your arm and everything. Yeah. So, but it's still like, that shows how impressive the trick is as well. Yeah. It's like how controlled it is. Like, I could run into somebody, do something that people will probably never do on a skateboard.
Yeah. And
then run into somebody,
bump you off balance,
and keep the clip.
Yep. But no, Tony keeps going, rolls away. We stayed right up with it. I kept him in frame. We wanted to make sure that we captured as much information as possible. With that, we filmed the whole thing in 120 frames per second. That's, for the uninitiated, that's 4 times slow motion. We knew we were going to slow this clip down. We knew that Tony can make it clean.
Perfect.
So that's anytime you feel slow-mo or film slow-mo, you're exposing yourself to all of the
any impurity, tic-tac, toe drags. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. It'd be very hard to mask.
The lighting is something that any cinematographer pays attention to. And curbside skate park. Your lighting is terrible.
We love you.
Much love. And honestly, if you want to revamp the lighting, we'll work with you. We're going to film a lot of clips in your skate park, and we wouldn't mind a cooler color temperature lighting, because boy, does it really bring out the reds and oranges. This was, if I wasn't filming on a cinema camera, trying to get this clip to look good with the color depth that most cameras have, good luck. Like,
good luck.
You're going to blow it out. It's going to look
amazing,
grainy, and
yeah. No, I could definitely get it. I remember when I was younger, I had a Canon, like DSLR.
Yeah.
And we had like an indoor park.
Like a little T5 or something like that.
T3i.
You know it's sick.
Yeah. Then I would go to an indoor park, and I'm like, why does my footage look insane? Like, I film outside, it looks horrible. And now I got the grainiest thing I've ever created. Yeah. So totally get it. I didn't know what I was working with. I'm just like moving things around, messing with it. And turning saturation all the way up. I thought the color looked cool.
All of that is it's usually it's experimentation and then becomes intention, right? So normally when I'm filming a clip, or like even the shred show right now, if you look at the colors, like, this is all done with intent. Like, we're very particular about the colors that we choose. We forgot to put the fill colors in the background, but like, you know,
look, we rocking out. We working.
Thanks for rolling with but it was actually me. But that's always something. And whenever you're thrown into a situation where you have poor lighting, you got to just give yourself enough flexibility while you're filming to compensate for the lighting. So in this space, the lighting was super warm, but you're also dealing with a lot of warm tones. So that means you have to shift your white balance in camera. We did the best we could to give us that flexibility and not blow out faces, not take the oranges and throw them off. That way the colors look decent. But in this clip, just note that I spent just as much time color correcting as I did editing the clip. So it's an effort.
Insane.
Last thing, pacing. It's skateboarding. You got to edit to music. The amount of times that I'll watch videos and they'll have popping and like trick lands and slides not timed to the music. Time it to the music.
Sometimes I just don't care.
That's fair. It's not your job to care. It's my job.
Well, I mean,
care.
like on like my personal Instagram, like yesterday I posted like a heel flip and an ollie 180, right?
Yeah.
And I literally didn't even cut the clips in any way. I picked them both and picked the first trending audio on Instagram and threw it up.
The trending audio is always great. You won't see that if at all much on our channel, just because our objective is to provide unique experiences, not a shared experience that you can see somewhere else. So if you end up liking the music or anything you hear in the clip, just know that it's reshareable.
You can use it too.
So the pacing. I want to hit the button.
Yeah, hit the button.
We have a button.
All right.
So the pacing with this, it's we're doing. Step one, before we ever edit anything, we find the music. I spend 20 minutes going through music libraries, whether it's sample libraries or sometimes I'll make the music myself, just building it out to make it work, fit the tone. So if you ever want a master class on editing to music, watch any Edgar Wright film. We're talking Shaun of the Dead. We're talking Baby Driver. We're talking World's End. They're great. Is World's End? No, I don't think World's End is.
Be honest with you, I haven't seen
Sean
any
Pilgrim
of those.
vs. the World. Like they're amazing. His edits are great. Like, they transition so well to skateboarding. It's all good stuff.
That's fire.
But,
That's fire.
That's Through the Lens. That was Tony being Tony.
2-Tone AP on the gram.
Heck yeah. Go follow him.
Copper drop. Do you guys mess with the SB Dunk?
Do you?
I personally do not like chunky shoes.
I, on the other hand, am wearing chunky shoes. I think chunky shoes fit the vibe of what we're in that 90s era. We're bringing it back.
Yeah, we're bringing back the 90s era. Well, I mean, like, I definitely dig like the look. I think they're very stylish.
Yeah.
I skated a pair early last year. Literally did not enjoy it. Like, I'd need that like thin toe box to like really get the board feel.
Yeah.
Vulcanized shoes, first cup sole. I need to feel my board under my feet, because if I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know where my foot's at.
Yeah. Give me all that padding.
Like, I mean, I'll make it work. Like, I could do stuff. Like, after a while, I'll get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I always come back to my Blazers.
Yeah.
SB Blazers.
People got their go-tos.
I love them.
Yeah. So SB Dunks came out. Honestly, I think with Dunks specifically,
it's a hype shoe.
It's a hype shoe.
It's a hype shoe now. So like, well, no,
it is, but like,
there's a difference between Nike SB Dunks and Nike Dunks.
Yep.
So there's the SB ones, and those are the hype shoes. They're coming up with all the crazy colorways. I think it's so funny too. It's the same shoe every month, different color.
Shots fired. But we love the different colors, man. I'm a bit of a sneakerhead.
I think they're sick. I think it's sick, but I like the overhype. It's overhyped. Yeah. I think it's overhyped as hell.
Moving on. Sony A9. Okay, this is for our cinema fans. This is for the filmers. Sony A9. Sony's dropping the A9 series new camera. Comes with a rotary shutter. This means that you're not going to get any of the deflection whenever you're filming things at high speed. Does it matter for filming skateboarding? Absolutely not. This is the most OP camera you could possibly get. This is for filming like the Red Bull, like
doing like F1.
Yes,
like super fast, like
over 100
military jet, commercial, 100%. Whatever.
Yes.
Rocket fuel needs to go in an engine to film.
This thing would capture, if you're filming baseball and like you just take a frame of a shot when the pitcher throws the ball, you're getting that ball perfectly crisp in focus.
Nice.
Like, this thing is an amazing camera. Is it copper drop? Like, do I recommend buying it? No. Get the FX3 if you're going to be willing to spend a decent amount of money. It's like a quarter of the price.
Right.
It's an amazing camera. It was used to film the Creator. I use a similar sensor with the A7S III. It's an amazing camera. Get that instead, or the A7S III if you want to take pictures. But Either way, it's sick. If somebody gave it to me, if Sony sponsored it and gave me an A9, I wouldn't use another camera.
Sony,
the thing is,
are you listening?
It's amazing.
What we got next? We got our SB Air Max eye shots. So I'm looking at this, and this looks like, you know, kind of a little more like chunkier shoe that I wouldn't like, but also it has a thin toe box where I feel like where I'm trying to like, where I lose my board feel in those chunky shoes, like I'll be able to feel it in this. I don't have one personally, but I think I am going to pick up a pair of these and test them out for sure.
These look like a Gap Beast for flickers, you know?
It looks like a sick shoe. I know my buddy has a pair of these in the different colorway, but I didn't like the blue or the red. I'm such a black or white shoe.
Yep.
That's what you'll mainly see me skating. So I want to definitely give the shot with the black pair. And I also got a shout out eye shot. Philly boy represent.
Copper drop.
I'm copping a pair.
I'm gonna pass on these.
That's all right. You like your DVS chunky shoes?
There's Vans Raleigh, all those colorways, give them to me. Moving on, Skate Vault Laowa 10mm f2.8 cinema fans.
Cop or drop?
Easy cop.
All right.
The second I can get this lens, I'm buying it, and you're gonna see it.
When does it come out?
It comes out soon.
Soon. We love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't know. We
got store notifications on.
It's under pre-order, and whenever it ships, it ships. I pre-ordered it.
Oh, so he already caught. Is what he's saying. Yeah. He's like, it's on the way when it's on the way. Like
10mm full frame lens. They're gonna have mounts for multiple different platforms. I use the Sony platform, so it's E-mount. It's 10mm f2.8. It's a fast lens. It's rectilinear, which means you're not going to get that distortion on the edges. At 10mm, that's a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that fisheye distortion. It's going to look nice.
So what would you say the difference is between a fisheye lens and a wide angle lens?
It's how the lens is going to distort the image. Honestly, in post you can correct the fisheye lens. Yeah. But it's just an extra step that's not
necessary.
I don't want to do it.
Okay. So we're not going to do it.
So we're not going to do it. Plus, like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like doing things in post versus doing things, capturing it in camera. If I can capture it in camera, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't want to bend the image or move the image any more than I have to. And mostly that's just how the sensor is capturing that light information. Mm-hmm. Whenever you're bringing that light in, and let's say the fisheye lens is putting the light in this part of the sensor.
Right.
That goes directly into our software, and then you're bending it. So like you're creating less information for me to pull color information from. You have less information for me to correct in one way or the other. Light information for exposure. So you're going to blow out your image a lot quicker. Not a lot quicker. It's all like minuscule. But like,
yeah,
I want to capture it in camera. This is an amazing lens, considering I think its competitor is probably the Sony, at least for my platform, Sony G Master, maybe a 14mm for rectilinear lenses. Mm-hmm. That's a $2,000 lens, maybe. Like it's stupid expensive. This Laowa one is more than half the price of a G Master lens. So easy buy.
Copping it for the films. Let's go.
All right, that's it for this week's Shred Show. Tune in next week where we're going to talk about what gear is worth spending money on.
Yeah, because gear is pricey. Like we were just talking about that lens right there.
Yeah.
All right. But
if anything you want to see in upcoming shows, just let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching.